Hey my glam girls, welcome back to my channel. It's Chelsea, and today I did not film an intro for this video and just realized this, so I am filming the intro now outside. But this is the second video in my declutter series. I didn't really make this introduction in my first video, but I'm going to be decluttering all of my makeup, so I don't know how many videos that will take, but we will be having multiple ones because I'm just getting 2 concealers, powders, and body luminizers in this one. It's a long one, I'm so sorry, but I like to give you guys summaries and explain why I'm decluttering things and keeping things. So that's what we're doing today. But before we get into this video, I just want to say thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend some time with me. If this is your first time here, I would love for you to stick around and subscribe to my channel and join the Glam Girl Squad. And if you are a returning subscriber, well, thank you so much for deciding to come back and support my channel with all of your likes and your comments. They all truly do mean a lot to me. So let's get into this video. Okay, so here is where I keep my concealers, powders, kind of like face prep things. And as you can see, it's so cluttered. I have some of the other products that would go in this category elsewhere. So just to show you an idea, this space really needs to be cleaned out because I have no more room to store anything. So we're gonna start off with the Armani. This is the Neo Nude powder, and I have the shade 7. And this powder is really pretty. So it's got a unique formula, and it's very, very soft to the touch. So I use this type of powder to further like apply under the eye just to kind of make that area look perfected. And I can use it all over the face, but I do prefer it under the eye just because it is a little lighter than my skin. So this is a really, really nice powder. And I'm looking at it like, why don't I use this more often? This one was gifted to me by Armani, and I'm really glad I had an opportunity to try it. So this one's a keeper. The Pat McGrath under eye powder in the shade medium. Love this powder. This is my 3rd this year. Only because my first broke, so I ran through it really quickly. But I love how this powder literally just smooths out my under eye, makes it so perfected. And so what I typically do is I will go in first with my absolute all-time favorite under eye and T-zone setting powder, the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Powder. This is a medium. I mean, hands down, my favorite under eye T-zone powder. I mean, I try other ones, but like she's my homegirl. You can see like little dent that I have here. It's just the only powder that I've tried that makes my under eye just look perfected and flawless. And then what I love about this powder is that you can apply as much of it as you want throughout the day, and it never looks cakey. It doesn't look like kind of crumbly, especially once your oils start to come through. It's just perfection. So I will usually put this powder down first under my eyes, and then I go in with the Pat McGrath one, and the combo together is just like smooth butter under the eyes. These two obviously are keepers. We have, this is the Chantecaille Perfect Blur Finishing Powder, and this one is such a really nice powder as well. I'm looking at it and I'm like, I've got to put it in my drawer so I can use it more. But I purchased this one because Kinky Sweat, Alicia, was raving about it. And I would have to agree with her. This looks really beautiful under the eyes as well. Very lightweight powder, doesn't exaggerate your fine lines, and it doesn't settle into your fine lines to, you know, make your under eye area look extra creepy and more mature than what you would like. And I think it's just really, really beautiful. So I really like this powder. For my under eyes, I definitely go for a very lightweight type of powder. Those are the ones that I prefer. I have the Range Beauty Smooth Out Translucent Setting Powder. And this is in the shade, I want to say golden something. And I really like this powder for all over the face. It's very lightweight. And one thing that Range Beauty raves about is that their products are definitely great for sensitive skin, people who have skin issues like eczema and things like that. It's not going to irritate your skin or exaggerate those types of skin conditions. So I like to use this powder as an all-over face powder. I love the color that it has, and it's a really, really good setting powder as well. It does mattify the face a little bit more, but it's not going to overly mattify the face and make it look dry. Here's the Hourglass Mineral Veil Powder. I have this in the deluxe size, and I really, really enjoy this powder for under the eyes. It's very similar, in my opinion, to the Charlotte Tilbury powder in that it's very lightweight. It's not going to look cakey under the eyes. You can kind of reapply and reapply throughout the day, and it's still going to give you that perfected type of finish. I think the Charlotte Tilbury and the Hourglass powders are perfect for people who have dry skin, who still want to set their makeup, but they definitely don't want to make their skin look more dry. These two powders are perfect for that. So I really enjoy this one. Here is the Fenty Beauty No Filter Instant Reach Touch Setting Powder in the shade Butter. This is obviously a deluxe sample, and I like this one to set the under eye. This color Butter is a really nice one for the under eye. This powder is more mattifying, so I do use a very small amount of it so I don't allow for my under eye to look too dry. And then I also have the actual regular size in the shade Honey. This is the one that I use for all over the face, and I really enjoy both of these powders. I went through a phase, I think these came out last year, and for like a very long period of time, like this was the only powder I wanted to use for all over my face. But I'm definitely going to keep them because I do enjoy using them. The Danessa Myricks, this is the Evolution powder. This powder is really, really, really nice. I will use this powder to set my under eyes. And let me give you all the shade. This is in shade 02. And I like this powder. I actually need to use it more because I feel like I've only used it a few times, but the few times I have used it, I've really liked it. It's a very, very, very lightweight. Like, you blow on it and it just dissipates into the air, which is the type of powder, per Sir John, that you want to have under your eye, because if it dissipates into the air, meaning like if you were to take the powder and blow on it and the powder particles just float in the air, then it's light enough for your under eye, and it's not going to weigh down the under eye area and make it make it look dry and heavy. If you blow on your powder and it just automatically sinks to the ground, then according to Sir John, it's too heavy for the under eye. So all of these powders that I've mentioned before are lightweight enough to go under the eyes. But I'm going to keep this one because I feel like I haven't used this one enough, and the times that I have used it, I have enjoyed it. Here is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder, and this one was really nice. This is in the shade Medium, and I purchased this one to use under my eyes, and I liked it. It's a good one from the drugstore, but it's definitely not gonna like over powder the ones that I've already talked about. So here is our first declutter. Then I also have the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. So remember when the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer came out, everybody raved about it. And I remember at the time being like, I can't pay that much money for a primer. So I heard that this one was a dupe, and clearly I thoroughly enjoyed it. I put a very nice pan in this one because I felt like it did a really good job of like blurring out my pores. It didn't make my skin look dry, and it worked very well under makeup. So I would recommend this if you were looking at it. I'm going to declutter it though because I don't use it anymore. But I really enjoyed it at one point in time. It was really good, really good. Here is the Marc Jacobs Accomplice Powder in the shade Mousse. And oh, I had such a love affair with this particular powder. So this powder, as you can see, it has a bit of sheen to it, but it doesn't look like a highlight on the skin. So I would use this to like finish, like as a finishing powder all over my face. And then throughout the day, I would use it to like take the shine away. And it was so beautiful. The kind of cool thing about this powder was that the top part would come off and you had a brush here. So I would put this in my purse and then, you know, use it throughout the day to blot and things like that. I'm trying to get it in here without messing up the bristles. So I love, love, love this powder. However, I have not used it in so long, so I think I'm going to declutter it because it's been more than a year since I've used it. I would still recommend this powder to people if they were interested in it. It works so nice on the skin. Here we have the Lancome Absolute powder in the shade Absolute Golden. This powder got a lot of rave, and I totally see why. I love this. I love to apply this on the cheeks after I've applied bronzer, highlighter, and blush. I apply a very small amount because it does have shimmer in it, so it is going to be a glow type of powder. But I like to put this on and then set my face, and oh, you guys, this is stunning. It is stunning. Absolute keeper. I would recommend it. This particular shade I don't see working for people who have deep complexions, but if you do have a deep complexion like NC50 or deeper or close to it and you've tried it, leave a comment down below letting people know how it looks on the skin. I know that there are other shades of this powder, but I know all of them don't have that shimmer effect. So let us all know, just so people have some point of reference. You have the Becca Set and Refresh powder, and this is the Becca Hydro Mist Set and Refresh powder, and this one's pretty cool. I can't get over this powder. When you go to apply it to the skin, it feels wet and like cooling at the same time, but then it's not wet. It's such a neat sensation, but it is actually a pretty good powder. I don't know if you all can tell, but I've gotten some really good use out of it. Because when I received this product, this was gifted to me by Becca, it was much more full. So I really do like this powder. Here is the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Medium Tan. And I purchased this one through Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty back in the spring. And this is a good powder. It's one that I need to use more. And I can't tell you why I don't use it as often as I probably should. I can't even tell you that, but this is it's a really good powder, so I'm gonna keep it because I need to use it more. But I like to use this powder to set my face, not my under eye. So overall, good powder. Oh, the Sephora Micro Smooth Powder. This is in the shade 1035. Oh, let me tell y'all, this is such a good powder. Such a good powder. Once again, I use this powder to set my face, the perimeter of my face, and it's just flawless on the face. I want to declutter it because I've had this one for a long time. But I'm probably going to repurchase it. Because at one point they were going to discontinue it. And I was like, why are y'all doing that? It makes the skin look so smooth. That's what I love about it. You can use it on top of makeup, or you can just use it in and of its own. Someone that I know, this is like her go-to everyday face powder. And this is what she puts on. And it's so flawless on the skin. So I'm going to repurchase this so I can have a fresh one. But I highly recommend it. It's like $20 too at Sephora, which for a powder is not terribly expensive. And it works so well. So well. So I'm going to declutter it, but only because it's old. And I will probably repurchase it in this upcoming sale. The Wet n Wild Photo Focus Powder in Banana. You guys, this is literally the actual gem at the drugstore. This powder is, I would dare to say this powder is high-end quality at the drugstore. It is so finely milled and is so lightweight and sets the under eye area, because that's what I used it for, just beautifully. And for, months, this was my powder of choice. I actually was about to run out of the Charlotte Tilbury one the end of last year, and I didn't want to repurchase it at the time. And so I had purchased this one for like a drugstore video and ended up using this one for months. Like, didn't even touch my Charlotte Tilbury one. It is so good. However, I'm going to declutter it because now that I have my Pat McGrath powder, like, I'm going to use those two over this one. But I highly recommend this one. And it's like $6 from the drugstore. It's a really, really great powder. Okay, so those are all of the powders. So I decluttered 5 powders. And then I kept these powders over here, which I'm very satisfied with. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think I want to declutter this deluxe sample one of the Fenty one, because I'm not going to use it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to declutter this small one from Fenty. I'll keep the large one from Fenty. Okay, that's that. Alrighty, that's all my powders. Let's go on to concealer. So we have the Dior Skin Correct Concealer, and I have mine in the shade 3W, and I like this concealer. I think this is like a good, solid, great medium to full coverage concealer. It's definitely not a concealer that I reach for all the time, but I do enjoy it, and so I'm going to keep it. I do like this one. The Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Concealer in the shade 350. This is definitely a concealer I should declutter because it is not my favorite. I think it is a little too dry under my eyes for my liking, but I purchased it because I was doing a full face of Fenty, and I felt like I should have like at least one of every one of the Fenty products, to do a full face. But in all honesty, I don't reach for this concealer, so I'm gonna declutter it. Here's the YSL Touche Éclat Radiant Touch Concealer. It is still in the box. I have yet to open it. This is in the shade 5. I purchased this concealer because I'm going to do a full face of Meghan Markle's favorite beauty products. And so I purchased this because this is one of her favorite concealers. So I still have to do that one. But I actually have tried this before, like years ago, and I really did like it. So I'm interested to see if I still like it, because the last time I used this concealer, it was a good 3 years ago. So I'll keep you guys updated, but definitely keep this one for the video. Then we have a mini size of the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. Mine is in the shade Caramel. This was the first under eye concealer that I purchased, and I still love it. This is my concealer of choice when I want to go full glam and I want my concealer to last for a very long time. It's a perfect combination of not too dewy, not too matte. Has really good coverage, and it's just flawless under the eyes. Like, I think it's just one of the best products that NARS has made and continues to make, so definitely keeping this one. This is the Zoeva concealer in the shade 150, and I have actually not tried this yet. This was gifted to me by a friend, and I have not tried it, so I need to try it before I give any thoughts about it. But let me know your thoughts if you've tried this one. Becca Ultimate Coverage Concealer. I have mine in the shade Caramel, and one of my biggest gripes with this concealer is the shade. Like, why is this caramel? This looks very beigey, very beigey. This concealer is very nice, very full coverage, very much like the Becca Ultimate foundation that I really enjoy. I'm gonna declutter this one because although the concealer is nice and it looks nice under the eyes, the color is just a little too light for my liking. I don't like a stark under eye, and so because it is light, I don't reach for it. So I'm going to declutter it. Rare Beauty. Whoo, honey, this gave me a lot. I got a lot of feedback on my initial video with how I felt about this concealer, especially. But I went back and got the shade 370N. This was not the original shade that I purchased. That shade, I didn't like the undertone of it. It was a little bit more olive. I do like how this looks under my eye a lot better in terms of color-wise. And I've learned with this concealer, you need the slightest amount, and it does look very nice under the eye. So I actually am going to keep this concealer. This is a good, like, everyday lightweight type of concealer that you just kind of want to look polished. We're not trying to look flawless. But we're going to look polished. We're going to brighten the under eye and look fresh. This is a good concealer for that. The Kosas Revealer Concealer, I love. I love this concealer. I wear the shade 7, and oh my Lord, I can't say enough good things about this concealer. So I was gifted both of these from Kosas. This is shade 7, and this is shade 7.5. Shade 7 is a really good shade match for me. It's not too light. Not too dark. It's just the perfect, like, lightweight, light to medium coverage type of concealer. It's definitely a hydrating type of concealer, so it doesn't look dry under the eyes. It looks very nice. It wears very well throughout the day. It even kind of, like, I almost want to say, like, plumps the under eye skin, so you kind of feel like your fine lines and wrinkles are diminished a bit because it just kind of seeps into there and kind of hydrates them, plumps them up a bit. It's like a drink of water for your under eye area. This is like such a favorite of mine. Such a favorite of mine. I haven't used it recently and I need to use it again. But I love that one. So keeping that one. Shade 7 I don't use. I'm going to put shade 7 in my makeup kit because I don't use it because it doesn't match my complexion. So I'm going to keep it, but I'm going to put it in my makeup kit. Oh, Pat McGrath. We know she's a keeper. So this is her concealer, and I have the shades M16 and M19. So M16 is my under eye concealer. M19 is what I like to use all over the face. And I did do a review where I compared the Pat McGrath foundation against the concealer, like wearing the concealer as a foundation, and the concealer looked more flawless at the end of the day than the foundation. I can't say enough good things about these concealers. They last all day. They actually do not crease, and I'm telling you, like 12 plus hours of wear, they do not crease under the eyes. I've worn this with setting them with powder. I've worn them without setting them with powder. they're stunning. If you have dry skin, I would definitely say prep your skin because these are more matte. They're not going to be extremely hydrating under the eye, but they're not too matte. So if you've got pretty normal skin, you know, combo and then oily skin, then it's going to work very well. People with dry skin, I would just say, you know, use a hydrating primer. And I think you should be okay. Armani Power Fabric Concealer. So I have the shade 7.75. And I like this one. This is another concealer that I need to use more often because I purchased it a couple months ago. And I, like with concealers, I feel very differently about them than foundations. Like, as much as I love foundations and I have my favorites, I'm always looking for the next best foundation. With concealer, I'm like, if I like it, I'm just going to keep using it. So this is one that I need to, you know, use more often. But when I have used it, I really like it. It has really good medium to full coverage, but it also doesn't settle into, it doesn't make the under eye look heavy and cakey, and I like that. I don't think you need to use a lot of it. A little bit does go a long way with that particular concealer. Here has been a favorite of mine. You'll see this in my favorites video coming up. This is the Armani Luminous Silk Concealer in the shade 7.5, and I cannot stop using this concealer. I've been using this concealer almost nonstop since late August, early September. It's just so beautiful. It's so lightweight under the eyes. And because I like to wear more medium coverage foundations and sometimes lighter coverage foundations, this concealer pairs very well with it. So definitely a keeper. Here is the Il Makiage. This is F, I'm Flawless. And this is in the shade 13. Il Makiage did send this to me. I have yet to try it. I have yet to try it. And I don't know if I am going to try it, if I'm being really honest. I don't know. I can't even tell you why I don't want to try it. But I don't know. The color looks nice. I should give it a fair try. I'm going to try it just so, but I don't want to try it. I'm going to declutter it. And if I change my mind, I'll make a decision by the end of this video. However, the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away Concealer, OMG, love this one. I have this one in the shade 9, and I am about due for a refill. This concealer is just, this concealer along with the Armani Luminous Silk Concealers kind of do the same things for me. The Charlotte Tilbury one provides a little bit more coverage than the Armani Luminous Silk one does. But both of them just look so beautiful. Like this is also a concealer I can wear with my lighter coverage foundations, and it's not going to be too too high coverage. You can build this one up or you can apply it very lightly. But I just love how like hydrating and moisturizing it looks under the eye. We have the Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Tan. So I purchased this back in the spring during Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty. It was half off. And I was like, everybody talks about Tarte Shape Tape. I've never tried it. It's okay. It's definitely full coverage, like full coverage. More full coverage than what I would wear. So I'm going to put this in my kit. I think it looks beautiful under the eyes for people who have more oily skin and for people who want that fuller coverage. But for my liking, I can live without it. So not decluttering it, but putting it in my makeup kit. This is the Juvia's Place Concealer in the shade 13, and I need to declutter this one. It survived my declutter last year, and I was like, I'm gonna keep it, and I'm gonna reach for it, and I have not touched this concealer all year, I don't think. If I have, it's only been like one time. So I'm gonna declutter it. It's really, really full coverage, and it gets full coverage so fast. Like, if you like full coverage concealers and you want something a little bit more affordable, this will give it to you right out the gate. But I don't like concealers that I can't control the coverage. And I feel like no matter how many times I try and how little of this I apply, I just always overdo it. And then I don't like how my under eye looks. So that's a declutter. The NYX Born to Glow Radiant Concealer in the shade Neutral Buff. This was a favorite of mine in the beginning of this year. I really enjoyed this concealer. This one, it is radiant, but it's not overly radiant under the eye. So it really makes the under eye look really nice and lively. and refreshed. Kind of reminds me a lot of the Cashapp concealer in terms of they both allow for the under eye to look really hydrated and refreshed and like awake, and it'll make your under eye area honestly look a little younger because of how like fresh and hydrated it looks. But I'm gonna declutter it because if I'm gonna go for a concealer like that, I'll go for the Cashapp one versus this one. The Milani Conceal Plus Perfect Longwear Concealer. This one I have in the shade 150. I use this concealer for a good while. This is fuller coverage. Lasts very well under the eye. It's an all-around good one. I don't reach for it anymore, and so I'm gonna declutter it. But this was also one that I would reach for when I wanted more like full coverage glam looks. The Shiseido Synchro Skin Concealer. This is in the shade, I want to say this is in the shade 3.5. I can't remember, but love it. Love it. I used this one for months. Like, I think, yeah, we went to Europe in October of last year, and I don't think I put this one down until the Pat foundation came in terms of like consistently picking it up. This was like my concealer of choice. Ooh, it was so nice. And I'm going to keep it because I need to actually use it more. Like, it's another one of those like just beautiful, like hydrating, fresh looking concealers under the eyes that provides like solid medium coverage. This is the Bare Minerals Stroke of Light. This is an eye brightener. This was gifted to me by a friend. And I actually have not used it under my eye or like around my eye, but I did do like a swatch of it and I didn't really like the color of it, so I'm gonna declutter it. This is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. So when the e.l.f. regular camo concealer came out, I tried it, but it was too dry. So when this one came out, I was like, ooh, let me try it. It's hydrating, and I actually liked it. But I'm going to declutter it. Plus, I've had it for a while, and clearly you can see that it's separating. The shade that I did use is Tan Neutral, and I did like this shade. But once again, I have other hydrating concealers that I like that I would reach for over this one. And then last but definitely not least, ColourPop No Filter Concealer. This is in the shade Medium Dark Tan, and I did love this at one point. I don't use it anymore. I haven't used this one for well over a year, so I'm going to declutter it. But I really did like it at one point. All right, I think those are all my concealers. Okay, so we got rid of a decent amount of concealers. So these are the these are the concealers that I'm getting rid of, and then these are the concealers that I'm keeping, and I'm really happy with that. On to primers. This is the Wet n Wild Water Drop Primer in the Cucumber scent, and actually, y'all, this is a good one. So I actually almost used all of this up. I know you all can't tell, but I can tell, you know, feeling it in my hands. This particular primer did a really good job of like hydrating my skin, but it also filled my pores, which I wasn't expecting it to do. I'm going to declutter it because it's almost gone, but I would recommend this primer to anybody who might have been looking at it. Here is a deluxe sample of the Bobbi Brown face base. And guys, I ordered this deluxe sample from Sephora, like you know, with like my points and stuff, because I wanted to see all of the hype around it. And I really, if I'm being honest, I don't get the hype around it. It is very hydrating and it's like a moisturizer, but I wouldn't purchase the full size of this. So when I run out, I probably will, you know, just run out of it. But I'm almost done. I mean, I did use it because I was like, okay, I want to get the hype. You know, I want to see why people love it. I do like it. I really do. But it's not something that like I have to use every time I'm doing my makeup. I think I might actually declutter it. I'm almost done, and I'm not going to finish it. Oh, I forgot about this concealer. The Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector in Medium Deep. I forgot about, y'all, I have totally forgot about this. This one is nice. So this color is a corrector color, and although I don't have dark circles under my eyes, sometimes I do feel like my under eye looks tired. So this is so nice to brighten the under eye, and you can see a dramatic difference. I did a full face of Becca and I used this product in it, and you could see a really noticeable difference with the under eye that I had used this on compared to the under eye without using it. almost forgot about this one. Definitely keeping that one. Like, I need to use that one more. This Tula Face Filter Blurring and Moisturizing Primer. So I've been using this one, and so far I think I like this one. So this is formulated with probiotics and superfoods, and it's supposed to be a blurring primer that adds like a tint of color to your face. It's not like, it has a tint, so you can see some of the tints there, but it doesn't leave a cast that like will show through under like my foundation and stuff. So this is what it looks like applied to the skin, and it looks really, really nice. Once it's blended in, then as you can see, it doesn't look like ashy or anything, but I do feel like it blurs my skin just a little bit. I'm still playing with it to make like my final decision, but I actually do like it so far. It's pretty nice. Gives a little bit of hydration to the skin as well. So you can see like there's a slight glow there. I wouldn't say this is a glowy primer at all, because it does, once it sinks into the skin, your skin's not gonna look, you know, glowy and extra dewy afterwards. But it is one that I'm glad that I have, that I picked up, because I do like it. Now, a glowy dewy product is this Lila Be a Glow Priming Oil, and I love this. So this product, I always mention it because I know that lavender is a sensitive ingredient for some people. It does have lavender oil in it. It doesn't bother me, but I always like to point that out. But let's say I have like done my skincare, but it's been a few hours since my skincare and I'm about to do my makeup. I will a lot of times put this on put this on first as just a hydrating component, and the glow that this leaves on my skin, like, it is so beautiful. I requested that product from Lila B, but please believe when I run out, I will purchase it, because it is definitely a go-to staple one. So this is a more glowy product, but the oils do absorb into the skin. So after about, I would say like after about 5 minutes, your skin looks just more glowy, not like oily and greasy, but you're still gonna have a nice prominent glow. So if you're not somebody that's into like that type of glow, I would not recommend the product. It works very nicely underneath makeup. And I also like that I don't have to wait for the oils to seep in to apply my foundation. Like, I can apply that and then put foundation on top, and it still like works very well under the foundation. Okay, Ola Henriksen Banana Bright Face Primer. This is supposed to brighten the skin. I received this from Influencer, and this is nice, but I could do without it, so I'm gonna declutter this one. Here is the Il Makiage No Filter Poreless Base Smoothing Primer. This is another one that I have never tried. Il Makiage gifted this to me, and I don't think I'm gonna try it either. So this is a silicone-based primer, and I do not use silicone primers anymore. Not simply because like there's silicone in it, but I don't like that texture of like a overt silicone primer. This is definitely like a Smashbox original primer type of primer. So I am going to declutter this. Although it is smoothing on the skin, I don't like those types of primers as my choice of primers anymore, so I will declutter that one. Here is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away Crystal Elixir. Love this one. So this particular product and the Lila Be a Glow Face Oil are my two kind of go-to products. Once again, if I put my skincare on, it's been hours since I've applied my makeup, and I kind of want to like boost my skin and make it look a little bit more hydrated. This is the these are the two products that I will reach for. I won't use both. It just depends on what mood I'm in. If my skin is more dry, I'll go for the Lila B. If my skin is kind of normal and I just want to add like a little bit more of a glow underneath my makeup, I'll go for the Charlotte Tilbury elixir. But I love how like hydrating this is to the skin, and it just looks really, really beautiful. Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Instant Retouch Primer. Once again, bought this primer to do a full face of Fenty, and it's okay. This is more of a mattifying primer in my opinion, and I don't reach for mattifying primers anymore, so I'm going to declutter this one. It's not bad, it's just, you know, doesn't meet my needs anymore. Although this is not a primer, I put this in the primer category. So we have the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. I wear the shade 6 Dark Tan. You all know exactly how I feel about this. And if you don't, I always say this is magic in a bottle. This dewy highlighter goodness is just too much to even put into words. I cannot get enough of this. So the way that I like to use this is I will put this all over my face, underneath my foundation for an added glow, or sometimes I will put it on top of my foundation where I apply my highlight just to give like that literal water look to the face. It's just perfection. Tatcha, the liquid silk canvas. Oh, she was a favorite of mine this year. I haven't used it in a while, so I need to use it again because I went months just raving about this. This one I really enjoy because I feel like it does a good job of like sort of mattifying the T-zone and smoothing out that area and just making that area of the face just look more flawless, all the while not drying out that area either, because that's a big thing for me. I do not want my skin to ever look dry or just like it's not being taken care of. And I love that this primer does that, so definitely keeping this one. We have here the Range Beauty True Intentions Bronzing Primer. This is another like just great hydrating primer to the skin. It's not gonna blur pores or anything, but I really like reaching for this one. Once again, if I want a little bit of hydration underneath my foundation, this does a really good job. It's called a bronzing primer, but it does not add any type of like bronzy glow or anything. It's more just like giving you kind of like that bronze sun-kissed look without like the deepening of your skin complexion. So any type of complexion, any color complexion can use this type of primer, and it's quite affordable. I think it falls like right at $20 as well. Touch and Soul No Poreless Primer was an OG favorite of mine. I'm gonna declutter this one because I don't reach for it anymore, but clearly I got some really good use out of this one. I used to only use this in my T-zone around my nose and like in the pores of my cheeks and on my forehead. And I liked how it like smoothed those areas, blurred my pores, but it didn't pill or anything. That's a huge thing that I sometimes find with like silicone-based primers, which is one of the reasons why I stopped using it. And this one kind of has like a silicone-y feel, but it also has more of like a, it's like a combination of like silicone and like lotion, so it didn't pill like that, but like I said, I'm decluttering that one. This is the Becca First Light Priming Filter. This is the Instant Complexion Refresh, and I don't really use this one. I've used it a few times, like you can see that I've used it a few times. I need to use this more often, so I'm gonna keep this one. When I have used it, I've liked how it looked on my face. I felt like it did give my face a boost and a refreshing look. Not too glowy, you know, not too dewy, more of just like a hydrating type of primer. So I am going to keep it because I do want to use more of it. I have some mini sizes of the Benefit the Professional, but I'm going to declutter them. I did use the original one for a little bit, and it was okay. Like, it was okay. That's all I can say about it. So I'm going to declutter both of them. Here is the Revlon Photo Ready Pore Reducing Primer. So I purchased this one because someone told me that it was a dupe for the Tatcha the Silk Canvas original primer, and I really liked it for a good while. I felt like it blurred my pores. It did a really good job. But once again, I haven't used it in well over a year, and I know that I'm not going to use it. If I'm going to go for a pore filling primer, I'm going to reach for the Tatcha the Liquid Silk Canvas primer. We're going to declutter that one. Here is the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. This is the Radiance one, and this is a deluxe sample. I forgot when I purchased this one, but I don't reach for it, and it survived my last declutter because I was like, I don't reach for it, but maybe I need to try it. I still haven't tried it from last year, so I'm gonna declutter this one. I just don't. I have other primers, I guess, that I reach for that I like. Onto the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. Loved this primer so much last year. Like, used it nonstop. As you can see, I've got some really good use out of it. And I'm going to keep this one because I haven't reached for it in a while, but I know that I thoroughly enjoy it. And when I do use it, I'm like, why don't I use it? This looks This makes your foundation and your base makeup look so flawless. I don't know how it does it. I really enjoy this one. I need to use this one for sure. For sure. Here's another mini of the Professional Declutter. 3 more primers. So I have the Too Faced Hangover Refreshing Face Primer in a like deluxe sample in the large size, and I've done a decent job using the deluxe sample. This is just a good standard hydrating primer, silicone free, doesn't irritate my skin. It's not my primer of choice, but I do like it. Does that make sense? Like, if I'm going for a hydrating primer, then I'm gonna probably reach for, like I said, you know, Charlotte Tilbury, Lila B. So this wouldn't be a primer I would repurchase, but I'm gonna use these up because I do like them and I don't want to discard them. I'm gonna keep both of them, and then I'm gonna try to start using them again. And then lastly, this is the Urban Decay All Nighter Face Primer, and this was gifted to me by Influencer, and I used it. It's okay. I'm gonna declutter it though because I just don't use it. I really don't. Oh, I forgot another concealer. This is the Lila B. Oh my God, I forgot my Lila B concealer. How did I forget? You know why I forgot it? Because it was in my drawer. Here we go. The Lila B Virtuous Veil Concealer in the shade Be Lively. So both of these are in the shade Be Lively. Lila B's just sent me an extra one to refill once I use this one. Love, love, love this. You're going to see this in my favorites video at the end of this month. This concealer is just creamy goodness under the eyes. It just melts under the eye. I feel like my under eye looks so flawless with this. And my favorite way to apply it is initially just with my finger. I will apply it under the eye with my finger, like partially blend it out with my finger, and then I take my brush to like finish blending it out. But it is so creamy and so, it just looks so nice under the eye. It truly melts into the skin. So like I said, both of them are the shade Be Lively. This is just how it's packaged if you were to purchase it, and this is a refill. Oh, I forgot a powder. Y'all, I'll be all over the place sometimes. This is the RCMA No Color Powder. I have had this joker since like 2016, I think. I'm gonna declutter it. I haven't used this one at least in 2-3 years maybe. But this was a good powder. I mean, it set the under eye. There's no flashback. Did the job. Just have found other powders that I like better. So decluttering this one. On to illuminators. So we have the Tarte Shape Tape Glow Wand in the shade A Gleam. And I like to use this under, like on the high points of my cheeks where I apply highlighter, but also I will use it, like put a dot like right on top of my concealer if I want my under eye to like look just a little glowy, not too glowy, just a little glowy. That's what I will use this for, and it looks really, really pretty under the eye. So I do really like this product. And I don't know, because now like, when I've used both of these together, applied a little bit of the Tarte Shape Tape with this on top, it looks so nice. It definitely like liquefies this concealer a little bit more and makes it look less dry. Now I want to keep this one. This concealer, I think I might keep it. Because like I remembered like, oh shoot, when you use both of them together, it actually looks really, really nice. Especially if you always felt like the Tarte Shape Tape was just too dry. It looks nice. This is the Milani, the Soft Focus Glow Complexion Enhancer in the shade 02. And y'all, I love this. This was in my yearly favorites video last year. And it was a product that I just could not live without. It's so good. I'm keeping this one. I also purchased it in the shade 03 Bronze Glow. And I think I'm going to give this one to my sister. She's a little deeper than I am. Because I don't use this one, and it's like a little too deep for me. It works for me in the summertime, but it doesn't work for me all year round like this one does. But this one is, I heard it's a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow Primer, and I would have to agree to that. I got a deluxe sample of that primer, and I felt like this one did like the exact same thing for $40-some cheaper. So I highly recommend this one. I've only found it at Walmart. So if you're interested in this one, check it out at Walmart. But love these. Then we have the Becca, the Shimmery Skin Perfector Liquid in Champagne Pop. And I picked this up because Fumi Fato in her palette book recommended this as like one of the best liquid highlighters, and I have to agree with her. This is not sold in like Sephora stores anymore. I actually went to the cosmetic company store outlet to purchase this. So if you have one of those near you, I would say check it out there. And because it was there, I got it for a really, really good price. But I really, really love this. This is beautiful. So I like to apply this underneath my foundation, once again, as like a liquid illuminator, to kind of just give the skin like an extra highlight. But this is gorgeous if you can still find it. This is the Lila B Liquid Light Serum Highlighter. And this is in the shade Nova. And I don't even think I've used this. I got this as a deluxe sample when I purchased from Ilia. Y'all, which reminds me, I forgot about my Ilia powder. You know why? Because it was in my favorite drawer. The drawer that I keep like all the products that I use all the time. Real quick, this is the Ilia, the Radiant Translucent Powder SPF 20 and Waikiki Run. Love, 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 love this powder to set all over the face. It is a powder with a nice color to it. So we are not going to have any flashback, even though it does have some SPF in it. And it just looks so beautiful on the skin. Doesn't dry out my face. I love, love, love this powder. Putting it back in my drawer. But that's why I forgot about it. So when I purchased that powder, I got this as a deluxe sample. So I have to try this, to be honest, because I don't think I've really tried it like on the face. So I'm keeping it so I can try it, so I can tell y'all what I think about it. These are two Milani highlighters. I think Milani does highlighters Milani, they do powders and highlighters beautifully, beautifully. So these are their Strobe Light liquid highlighters. I have two shades, 03 and 02. I like 03 a little bit more because it has more warmth to it than 02 does. I would recommend 02 for light to medium skin, and then 03 for medium to tan to deep skin. And then they have a 04 one for even deeper complexions. I think I'll keep this one because I really do like it, and I'll declutter this one. The difference between this one and the soft focus one is that it is literally a strobe highlighter, so it's gonna give you like a glow, like a beaming glow, whereas this is literally, like I said, a soft focus glow complexion enhancer. So this is gonna like give your face like a boost of radiance. This is like a hardcore highlighter. Okay, this is the Hard Candy All Over Body Luminizer in the shade Champagne. So this highlighter, I compared it to the Fenty Beauty Body Luminizers. It was like my first YouTube video that went like low-key viral for me, because when I made the video, I had maybe like 200 subscribers and it got over, I think it has like 10,000 views now. So that's, went like slightly viral for me for the size that I was. And I think this like looks better than the Fenty Beauty Body Luminizer. It smells good. It gives your skin like the exact same glow, but I think your skin looks even more glowy with this, especially when the sun hits it. So I'm definitely going to keep this one. I use this all over my body, so I don't really use this on the face at all, but I love it for the body. So I'm going to keep this one. I purchased this LA Girl Luminous Glow Skin Illuminator to do a video this summer on all my favorite luminizers, and being quarantined just kind of killed it all. But I'm gonna declutter this one because I think I did sample this and I was like, it's okay. Like, it wasn't gonna be one that I would rave about if I would have done that video. So I'm gonna declutter that one. These are two body luminizers by Melanie Mills. And this is in the shade Rose Gold. This is in the shade Light Gold. And these like don't play. Like, when I use these, I literally take the product that's like on the cap and use it. And you talk about a glow, like honey child. A glow. So this product, I heard about it from Tamara Mowry. I love her. Tia and Tamara, love them both. And she uses this on her body, especially like in pictures and things like that, when she really wanted like her skin to glow, like her legs and her arms and things like that. So that's why I bought them, and I am going to keep them because I really do like them. And these are the mini sizes of them, but I've had both of these mini sizes for at least 2 years, and like I haven't even put a dent in them, because you need like so little product. But these are like high shine body luminizers. So if you want like a little bit of a glow, these are not the products for you because they're gonna make you glow. But I like them. I've used the rose gold one on my face, like the high points of my face where I apply my highlighters. And I like the way that that looks. Ange Beauty Bali Full Body Glow Oil. This is the original one, and this is their Bronze Glow Oil. I just love these highlighters. I mean, these like liquid highlighters, illuminators, oils, things like that. Just shaking them up so you can see like the illuminizers. So this is an oil that you see the sheen, like the glowiness here, but when you apply it to the face, it just looks like a really, really nice oil. Like it gives your face just a really nice glow. So you don't see like this on your face. You see more of just like a nice glow. It's a lightweight oil. So this is the type of oil that I will mix with my highlighters that I find might be a little, I mean, not my highlighters, my foundations that I find might be a little too dry. This is the oil that I'll mix with them. This one I have not used yet. I purchased one. I purchased this and they sent me one. So I have an extra one. And so this one I haven't used yet. So I can't tell you all how it looks on the face because I haven't used it on the face yet. So I'll give you all my feedback on that when I do it. But I really do love this oil for sure. So they're keepers. The Danessa Myricks Illuminating Veil is so pretty. I got it in the mini size in the shade Radiance. And this highlighter, this liquid highlighter, I would say one of the down parts about it, it's not as fluid as I would like for it to be. So like when you place it on the skin, kind of where you place it is where it stays, and you have to put a little bit of elbow grease in it to blend it out. But once you blend it, it looks really pretty. So like, that's way too much. You also don't need a lot. It just doesn't move, which is great once you get it to where it needs to go. But it's not a fluid highlighter like maybe the Becca Champagne Pop one is. It's not so fluid. It kind of just stays where you place it. So I'm going to keep this one, but I always like to let people know that. Here is the Sally Hansen Airbrush Legs Illuminator, and I don't really like this one. So it's got a ball right here, and you're just supposed to like rub it on your legs and your arms for a really nice glow. And I just felt like, it's okay. So I'm decluttering this one. Here is the Becca Ignite Liquid Highlighter, and this is really, really nice. The only thing that I don't really love about this one is the fragrance, because it smells a little more sweet than I would like for it to smell. And the fragrance does kind of last on the skin. It's definitely not one of those that like dissipates very quickly after you apply it. And it also in formula is similar to the Danessa Myricks one. Like you have to work quickly to blend this into the skin. So I would say if you got this one, work quickly so you can like apply it on the skin where you would like it to. But like the Danessa one, once you get it where you want it to go, it stays. And sometimes with the liquid highlighter, it kind of fades throughout the day. Neither one of these will fade throughout the day because they stay in place, which is great. So I am going to keep this one because I do like it. I just have to, you know, work quickly with it. Here is the Soul Body Shimmering Dry Oil, and this is the Soul Shimmering Dry Oil. Soul is a sister company from ColourPop, and this one is beautiful. But what I don't like about this one is that you see all the shimmer. It looks like when you apply it, you're just gonna have like just shimmering goodness. And once the oil dries, you have like very few sparkles left. Like very few sparkles left, which is kind of a disappointment because I bought this thinking like, ooh, I'm about to be out here looking like a glowing goddess. And it doesn't do that. This Hard Candy one does that. I be looking real glowy with that one, which I mean, in the summertime, you know, pre having to be quarantined, like it looks so beautiful in the sun. This just looks nice. It's nice. I'm going to declutter it. Am I going to declutter it? Okay, I'm going to keep this one. I'm going to try this one more summer. I'm going to try it for summer next year. If it doesn't, I'm going to try it one more time. It's really nice. I just wish like the shimmeriness would like be more prominent. Here is a mini size of the Patrick Ta liquid illuminator. And I really wanted to try this one, but I didn't want to pay full price for it. So this summer, it was like one of the Sephora favorites gift sets, and this was in it. So I really honestly never got to try it this summer. So I'm keeping this one. We're going to try it again for next summer because I didn't get to try it for this summer. Then last but definitely not least, these are my Tom Ford Glow Drops, and I have the shade Reflex Guilt. Oh my goodness. I just love her. I love her so much. This is definitely one of those products you don't need, but like, oh, I'm so glad I have it. I apply this on the high points of my cheeks, basically where I apply a regular highlighter. And I love it so much. So not a need, you know, but I thoroughly enjoy it. And so guys, that is it. So this is what I'm keeping. And it is a lot, but I feel like these are products that I'm going to use. And then this is what I am decluttering. And so I'm very happy with that. I'm very happy with what I'm decluttering. I feel like I've made space. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts as to, once again, products, concealers, primers, powders, things like that that you love, that you can't seem to declutter, even though you might want to, but you just like can't let it go. I definitely want to know your thoughts on those products, and that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in my very next video. Bye, guys.